What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Svetz Series. Josh Svetz here, and today, look, I didn't think I was gonna be reviewing this project, but I got a few people on Twitter that asked me, hey, what do you think of Drip Harder? What do you think of Drip Harder? What do you think of Drip Harder? And I was like, alright, fine, I'll review it. But this isn't going to be my usual review style. This is a little bit more off the cuff. Let's get into it. So, Gunna and Lil Baby, these are two artists that I actually quite enjoy. I really enjoyed Baby's debut album. I thought there were some pretty good songs, especially How Life Goes with Gunna. In fact, that's one of my favorite songs of the first half of 2018. I really just like their chemistry on that whole track. I actually really like Gunna. When he's on features, he does a lot more than expected. And I know he's in that Nav camp, and I don't like Nav. I'm just gonna come out there and say it. But Gunna actually shows some talent, some versatility, and has some good vocal inflections. Now, both Baby and Gunna do take a lot away from the Young Thug type of music, and you can definitely hear those influences throughout their records and this record as a whole. But I will say, in terms of the people that are trying to do the Young Thug melodic trap, off the wall type singing thing, Gunna and Lil Baby easily are some of the best at it, and actually do change the style up rather than being complete copycats. While this record shows off the chemistry between the two, I can't help but think Gunna kinda outshined Baby, even carrying him on some tracks. Don't get me wrong, there are some tracks where Baby does really well, especially one of his solo tracks, Deep End. He had a line on there that really cut deep for me. How you gonna make it, then try to help me? Like, I felt that in my soul. But at the same time, I don't know if he changes his inflection nearly enough or has bars, especially from what this apparent tweet said. Bro. What? No, get that shit out of my face. This dude has to be a troll. But despite moments like Deep End and a couple other tracks, Baby really just doesn't show up too much here. Now, Gunna, on the other hand, he steals the show. His verse on Back to Business is insane and off the wall and exactly the type of energy that this project needed. And overall, even on some of the more generic and boring tracks, I think Gunna does just a little bit better than Baby, which can be kind of distracting when you're dealing with a project that's supposed to showcase both artists' talents cohesively. Now, there are times throughout this where Baby and Gunna are completely in sync, completely on point. The track I Am is so much more energetic than most of the tracks on here and really shows the chemistry with crazy fast flows from both. The best track on this whole thing for me, though, is Drip Too Hard, which was actually a lead single, but it doesn't matter. This track absolutely slaps. Baby goes crazy on this track, and Gunna's flow is infectiously quick. I also love the production throughout this, and that's another talking point I have, the production. It's actually quite varied compared to what you hear in the Atlanta trap style. It's not just all heavy 808s. There's a mix of guitar, there's some string sections, there's some more drum machines being implemented here. Nothing too crazy, but I will say it was a lot more varied and a lot more different than I expected coming into the record. Still, there is times where the production really does let Gunna and Baby down, and that energy just isn't there on a handful of tracks here. As for the features, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. The first track, Off-White Vlone, is solid enough on its own. Lil Durk does not really bring anything and really jumps you with a rape alert verse at the end of the track. And Nav, well, honestly, it wasn't that bad. I mean, compared to Nav, alright? We're on a Nav scale right here. It could have been way worse. Of course, Young Thug jumps on this, and his track, My Jeans, yes, his track, because Baby and Gunna don't even come in till the very tail end. Now, Thugga does a really good job with his catchy, crazy, nonsensical chorus, but again, this is a Baby and Gunna project, and he completely overshadowed them. They sound like guests on their own track. And of course the Drake track is fine. Drake has a pretty good verse, but Gunna sounds a bit off. He's either off the beat or it's the mixing. Something's wrong here because he just doesn't sound like he's on the track. He doesn't sound on beat. And with Baby, it's a fine verse. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing terrible. It's just meh. And that's kind of how I feel about this project as a whole. It's just it's okay. Like, it's not it's alright. But at the end of the day, there's nothing too crazy to grasp onto. This thing needed a lot more energy, some better performances, probably some better contributions from the features, and way better mixing. The mixing on this is extremely sludgy and needs a lot of work. Though I do appreciate the variation in instrumentals. I actually expected the production to be a lot more bland, and that was a pleasant surprise. Gunna and Baby do have an undeniable chemistry, and that does come out in a few of these tracks, but it doesn't come out consistently enough to warrant a full project. Now, again, I was not expecting too much out of this, so I'm not in shock. But, you know, it's okay. It's good vibe music. You can smoke to it, you can play ball to it, you can just chill in the back, play some 2K, whatever. It's really essentially background music that you don't pay attention to too much. There's some catchy flows here, there's some really great moments on a couple of these tracks, but most of it's pretty generic and pretty background. Now, I do think that Gunna has a lot of potential. I also think Baby has a lot of potential. Probably like Gunna just a little bit more than Baby, and I don't think they made a track nearly as good as How Life Goes, but at the same time, this thing was fine. So if you asked me what I thought of the new Lil Baby, Gunna, Drip Harder collaborative project, I'd tell you, it's alright. It's alright. It's nothing special. It's chill. It's alright. But what did y'all think? Comment below and make your voice heard. Am I missing a huge concept to this? Is this way more of a vibe tape than I'm saying? Or is this complete trash? I don't think it's complete trash, but maybe y'all do. Whatever you think, comment below and make your voice heard. Like, subscribe, and don't be afraid to criticize. This has been the Svetz Series. Now send me your queries.
Red and black sweater like my name is Freddy. Color spaghetti. I so messy. Pico khaki. Never lucky. Keep that 30 in my jacket. Look at the diamonds, they on hush mode.